Recording has started.
We are live, sir. Yes.
Okay. So friends, I welcome you all to this series of the Executive Development Program. This is fourth in number, carrying with each and every exam once a chartered accountant qualified, so they have to strengthen oneself in a different manner. And naturally, if one qualifies at this moment, his target goes with the as far as the career by either the corporates or into the practice, and accordingly interviews and so many skill one has to develop with. As you go back where you have already traveled a little journey, so things goes differently. Same is with our EDP programs also. We keep on changing the program pattern. We keep on changing to depending on the targeted audience, targeted participants, so that they understand the journey so far they have traveled with, they have measured with, and accordingly they will be going with. We are fortunate enough with the support of my co-chairman CA Durgesh Kabra ji and the team there in Dubai, Prabdeep Singh ji, and team here in Delhi in the secretariat, Ranganathan ji, with those kind of support. Today we have the best of the speaker around us, best of, we can say, the panelists around us and the moderators with us. Moderators will be the Sundar Nurani ji, who hails from the Dubai, though originally maybe some part of India only, and Dinesh Kothari ji, a great man around us, well spread, a well established entrepreneur. Nilesh Bhatnagar ji, established entrepreneur at a different location in Dubai. Rajesh Singh ji, who is there with us as a friend and settled there in Qatar as an entrepreneur. KN Agarwal ji, a senior professional brothers with us, who is there in Egypt, well established entrepreneur. Ajay Gupta ji from the Kenya, Nairobi, a well established professional or the entrepreneurs. You see, like the journey one starts with, everyone feel like everyone in the life has something to achieve with. The success, whether it is in the corporate words, success whether it is in the entrepreneurship, success either in the leadership or in the politics or any across in the practice also. It is the desire of each one of us, whether me at my own age or you as the chartered accountants around us, those who are in the participant category, those who have been qualified just a year or the 2 years back. They have the burning desire in themselves to establish themselves in best of the manner. This 7 days program today by the panelist, then by the different speaker, those who have really been strengthened themselves in their own manner by their intellects, by their mental strength, by the way they have proven their skills. They will be around us, around you all, so that you get best of the guidance. It is well said. Guidance plays a best of the role. Guidance plays a role, maybe 20% only. But the 80-20 formula also works there. Unless until 20% is being used, the rest 80% cannot also be utilized. 80% will also be reduced with. So you all have to understand, dear participants, dear young chartered accountants, for each one of you, this program is of the immense use. For you all, this program is of the immense use. Those who have joined us, they'll be getting best from this program and gearing up for the better future. You see, like the burning desire is one thing, but there are certain parameters. It is well said, strength is sellable, the weakness cannot be. Weakness cannot be sold. Rather, weakness will be taking you backward, the strength will be making you to move forward. And how the strength has to be built in? With the guidance, with the support from the others, with the inculcation or the creation of unleashing the power whatsoever you have. Whatsoever the power you have developed so far, you have become a chartered accountant. Naturally, you have all the desire to be a successful person. And that has been come into you by way of the hard work, By way of the vision you have brought in, you have been a chartered accountant. Behavior, discipline, mechanism you have adopted. By way of the, naturally by way of the determination and the dedication with which you have proven your skill has been, ultimately you have achieved the goal of being a chartered accountant. Now, to be a successful chartered accountant, whether you are with the corporates, whether you are in the practice, whether you are in something different also. Chartered accountant is a qualification. That does not mean that whatever you have learnt during the process, that you have to pursue that only. Out of that, whatever you have, the journey may be. So now you have to utilize it in a manner so that whatever comes in your mind, that is been achieved with. It is well said theory or proven theory, whatever you believe in, you can achieve with. Believe in yourself, act accordingly, and ultimately achieve the goal of the desire booster, whatsoever are there. Those are the information you have to get from the others. Keep yourself updated. Get into whether it is the technical knowledge or the soft skill. Keep on advancing yourself in the manner so that you on empowering yourself is the fundamental things. And thought has to be very clear. Thought has to be very clear. We on a day-to-day basis, we understand, it is well said, once you can measure it, you can manage it. If you are able to measure yourself, your strength and the weaknesses, and definitely one step is over, so now you have to manage yourself. Strength has to be strengthened further, weakness has to be kept away. That management you have to understand with, you have to. It is one of the fundamental proven things कि सफलता ऐसे नहीं आती. One has to create and craft. The panelists today will be sharing with you best of their journey or the manner they have really been achieved to this level. This is an naturally integration of the hard work, integration of the determination, integration of the discipline, integration of the vision, कड़ी मेहनत, दूरदृष्टि, पक्का इरादा, अनुशासन. यही सफलता की कुंजी है और क्वालिटी ही आपको जो है वहां तक ले जा सकती है जो आप बनना चाहते हैं, जो आप करना चाहते हैं. आपको ट्रेमेंडस कैपेबिलिटीज हैं आपके अंदर. द एज यू पीपल आर इनटू मे बी अराउंड इन द ब्रैकेट ऑफ समवेयर बिटवीन 22 to 30. Someone may be in the 25, someone may be 26, some may be 22, 23 only.
Recording is
best
on.
part of our profession is everyone wants to give back to the profession. Best part, it is not in other profession. In our profession, like today we find so many panelists, whether it is Dinesh Kothari ji, the senior person here, professional here around us, whether it is Nilesh Bhatnagar ji, whether it is Rajesh ji or K.N. Agarwal sahab, या अजय जी या सुंदर नूरानी जी और मिनी जी और मी एज ए काउंसिल मेंबर और दुर्गेश भाई एज ए काउंसिल मेंबर and Prabdeep bhai and the Ranganathan ji, though Prabdeep is a chartered accountant, but he is a part and the integral part of the ICAI in the officer category. Ranganathan ji, everyone wants to give back to the profession. So having been that advantage with each one of you, not only during these 7 days, subsequent to that also, you can, whenever you need any kind of guidance, you can have the mentorship program at the ICAI. Mentor Mentee, there is a portal which Ranganathan is the key person who is involved with this. So many ICAI CMIB this committee is doing for each one of you. This committee is always proactive. Nowadays career ascent program is going on. Earlier the initial level program was there where you are to be placed with the corporates. Same way we as a dynamic world, in the dynamic world, this committee is so proactive. This committee wants to give back to the profession. This committee wants to make our professionals so strengthful. Whether yesterday also we were discussing some of the programs with Ranganathan ji. Today it is there on our table to deliberate upon and discuss and put into the system, so that we can get best to the either the senior professionals also, the younger ones also, or the middle level age groups also. It's always giving back, giving back, giving back. So if that is the position, why those who are not joining today, they are missing it. So it is not basically, you see, like once something is देने के लिए आपको देना कुछ नहीं है, आपने तो लेना ही लेना है. इस स्टेज में जो है, in this stage, what one has to get, and ultimately if you becomes more strengthful, and if you become stronger, and ultimately bring the name of the chartered accountancy profession in your own organization, that itself is giving back to the profession. If you see, like if you are senior one who happens to be some other profession जो है, and he gives a work to you or assigns some task to you, and you deliver well before the time with more quality, so then you are not giving to that particular organization only or to the satisfaction of your boss. You are giving the fame to this profession also at the same time, because everyone recognizes you as a chartered accountant also. That spirit should be developed, so that you are giving benefit to yourself, you are giving benefit to your family, you all are giving benefit to the society, to the country, for the development of the economy, for the profession also at the same time, so that profession feel like we have a target, some target or the other in our mind for the members, those who are into the industries or the business. So we have the targets, and targets can only be achieved once you deliver at your workplace the best. We have a target that our young members must grow financially, our young members must grow mentally, they must grow intellectually, they must show their energy level to all the corporates, all the organizations wherever you are working with. You must show your strength to the society. You must feel, the others should feel like, to your family also, to your friends also, to the others also, yes, we are a chartered accountant. No one can beat us. With that kind of tremendous capabilities, we have to build in. And these gentlemen, these senior members with us, those who are today as a panelist, those who will be as a moderator, they will make us the more stronger. They will pave us the way to make us more strengthful. Any single guidance can change the world, can transform you. That is the simple understanding with me, and I am very grateful and thankful to the team at the Secretariat, team at the Dubai by Pradeep, and my co-chair Durgesh Bhai, and all these speakers, all the panelists and the moderators for joining here for this for very first day of the 7 continuous days program, which I personally believe so, with the support of each one of you. Not only today, in the time to come also, your support by this committee required with, and I hope you will be a great contributor for the growth of this profession and growth of these young professionals around us, so that they feel proud of this committee also. For the contribution acknowledged or the shared by you will also be acknowledged by the committee and the participants. With these words, I'll request my co-chair Durgesh Kabra ji from Mumbai, a powerful or the power in command at his disposal at the council level, and the past journey well spread with, whether in the regional council as a chair, in the WIRC, or today as a council member. I feel proud of him, and I feel like he is not only as a sportive hand or the co-chair, but whatsoever we enjoy with, whatsoever we echo everything, whatsoever we think of or he think of. So I have to, because we are always positive, we always have to think about the profession. With those kind of spirit, this committee is really growing with leaps and bounds, and continue to be there, not only during this tenure of me being a chair and the Durgesh Bhai, but in perpetuity this committee will be, because this is the very proactive, very energetic, very dynamic, because 70%, more than 70-80% of the today's members are jumping into the corporates or into the business or into the startups or those kind of areas. And where this committee has been given responsibility by our leadership, by Nihar Jambusaria ji, the president, and our Dr. Debashish ji as a vice president, those who have given us the responsibility, me along with the Durgesh Bhai ji, I am very grateful and thankful to the leadership also for having a confidence, giving such a large committee to us. Though we are first timer, but third year is going on, but the confidence level you can see of the leadership also to us. So I'm very grateful and thankful to them also, thankful to everyone. Friends, now I'll request Durgesh Kabra ji to take and forward. Okay, fine.
Thank you, Chairman sir. It's indeed a pleasure to be a part of this 4th Executive Development Program for young chartered accountants who have passed recently a 2-year back or so. All respected dignitaries of our profession, Kothari ji, Bhargava ji, Agarwal ji, Ajay Gupta ji, Rajesh ji, who are going to lead today all the youngsters who are joining, and they'll be guiding from their own experience how they have sailed through their journey and they have become successful entrepreneur. Friends, when we talk of success, and as is said by our dynamic chairman, with whose guidance I am working with him in the committee, CMIB, and we are taking a lot of initiative, as is told by Hansraj Chukchi, and this is one of the wonderful initiative for young chartered accountants, executive development program, where the top and successful entrepreneur, CFO, CEO, who are chartered accountants working abroad or either working in the country, are guiding to the younger generation of the professionals who are going to be the leaders of this profession and going to be the torch bearers also in times to come. So let's begin with some of the thoughts which is on success, and as is told by Hansraj Chukchi that 4 things are very important: hard work, vision, firm determination and discipline, यानी कि कड़ी मेहनत, दूरदृष्टि, पक्का इरादा और अनुशासन. And when these 4 things are important, if you roam around this and you do your working based on these 4 things, I believe that the success will be yours. And when there will be a panel discussion, you will come to know that these 4 things have played important role in the journey of these 4 successful entrepreneurs who are there today to guide all of you. Friends, let me tell you some of the points which are again very important. And these 7 points I will be talking to you, which will give you confidence and will give you success in time to come. And what are those? वो क्या है? क्योंकि आज हर कोई व्यक्ति, हर कोई चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट सफल बनना चाहता है. Everybody wants to be a successful person in the life, a professional in the life. But some of them become successful and some of them do not. It doesn't mean the chartered accountants are not successful. Chartered accountant is the only fraternity where success ratio is much more as compared to any other profession. They are entrepreneurs, they are CFOs, they are CEOs, and they are trainers. Name the area, you will find them, that the chartered accountants are there. And that's how a course which is available to all of younger generation and the students at a very, very reasonable rates as bringing laurels to their profession. Friends, coming back to the 7 things which I believe that are important for success is one, that we must have patience on our thought. Because you start any work and start working on it. But for that, what is needed is patience. If you do not have patience, अगर आपके पास धैर्य नहीं है आपके विचारों पर, then it is going to be very difficult for you. You may or may not be successful in one try on a thought which has come to your mind, probably. But in the second try, you will become successful. In the third try, you will become successful. And there are so many entrepreneurs like this. Even at the age of 66, the owner of the KFC became the successful entrepreneur. So, whenever thought comes in your mind, just have the patience, because it is very easy to start a work, but it is very difficult to make it successful. And for making it successful, you need to perceive it continuously. And when you perceive it continuously, progress is yours. That is for sure, friends. So that is what I believe, that you should be very careful about your thoughts and patience on the thoughts. And the important thing is, you have to be with that thought. आपको उसके पीछे पड़ना होगा, उसको पढ़ना होगा, उसको सुनना होगा, उसको समझना होगा. You have to be behind that thought. You need to understand. You need to read it. You need to listen it. And you have to have a deep dive into it. Then only you will be successful. And if you are doing that, I'm sure, boss, success will be yours. You young chartered accountants will be very successful. And then, as is told by Chuksam, that hard work is very important. बहाना बनाएंगे तो काम नहीं चलेगा. Pretending is not going to help you. You can't do it. That is not going to help you. You need to do the hard work. सफलता ही परिश्रम ही सफलता की कुंजी है. The hard work is only the key to success. That is important. You have to keep in mind, and that will bring you the success. A person who pretend will not extend his success. बहाने बनाने वाले बहाने बनाते ही रह जाएंगे, सफलता उनको मिल नहीं सकती. So if you want to extend your success, you don't need to pretend, but to work hard. That is very, very important. And I'm sure when you will be putting your efforts, you are going to be successful. And it is rightly said, जो आप सभी को मालूम है, हम सभी को मालूम है, by Lord Krishna in Gita, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मां फलेषु कदाचन. कर्म किए जा, फल की इच्छा मत कर रे इंसान, जैसे कर्म करेगा वैसे फल देगा भगवान. So friends, if you are going to put 16 hours to it, I'm sure success will be yours, because all these 4 people who are going to discuss with you, for all the 4 chartered accountants who are going to discuss with you the success story, they have worked hard. Not only 16 hours, but even more than that. So friends, it is very, very important for all of you to follow the hard work strategy. समय, सही समय कभी नहीं आता, उसको लाना पड़ता है. Right time never comes. You have to bring that right time. And right time will only be there when you are putting your best efforts for the success. And the third important thing is keep learning always. It is very, very important. If you stop learning, if you say, मुझे तो सब कुछ आता है, then आप वहीं पर finish हो गए. You have finished yourself. So learning in the life is very important. Please don't say no to learning. Learning is going to make the difference. If you will focus on learning, it will get you earning. But if you focus on earning, then probably you will not be learning, and when you will not be learning, there will be no earning. So it is very important. Please keep continuously focusing on learning and don't block your mind that you know everything. That is very important. And friends, I believe that जिसने सीखने की कला खो दी, उसने जीतने की कला खो दी. A person who has lost the learning skill has lost the winning skill. That is very important. So if you want to be a winner, you have to be a learner. Friends, the fourth thing which I believe important is the change. Accept the change. It is very important. We need to accept the change because the change is constant. अगर हम परिवर्तनशील नहीं हैं, if we are not accepting the changes, then it is very difficult to do any business, difficult to deal with any situation which is there. If you are doing today business, what is the era today? It is digital era. It is an era of technology. And if you do not involve technology and digitization in your business, you will not be successful. So you have to adopt the changes. That is most important. And how you will adopt the changes? You need to learn again. That is more important. So if you stop learning, you will not be able to accept the changes which is required. So there should not be any resistance to change. Rather, you should always accept the change and take the change as challenge and convert that change into an opportunity. That is very, very important for all of us, and we need to continue to learn. Then the fifth one is vision, as told by our chairman sir again. I'm taking all the clues from my chairman because he is my guide there in the council also and in the committee also, being my boss at the committee. He has given me the post of co-chairman, but in fact it is vice chairman post. He respect to that extent and he normally calls me as co-chairman. So it is his greatness. But friends, let me tell you, the vision for success is equally important. And for the vision, we need to have the trust on our vision. Whatever vision, friends, you have decided for, whatever goal, friends, you have decided for, you need to trust that yes, I will achieve it. Yes, I will achieve it. And when you are having that trust, with that trust, you will surely going to achieve it. But you don't have trust on your own vision, कि क्या मैं कर सकता हूं या नहीं कर सकता हूं, then there is a problem. क्योंकि सबसे बड़ा रोग है क्या कहेंगे लोग. So you have to be very careful. अपने आप पे विश्वास रखना is most important. अपने विजन पे विश्वास रखना, ट्रस्ट रखना is most important. क्या कहेंगे लोग, what the people will say, forget about that. Let us not care about the world. What exactly we want to do in the life, let us focus on that. And I'm sure when we focus on that, you will be a successful person, friends. Then the sixth point, which I just want to deal with you, is that whatever you choose to do or whatever you are doing, please enjoy it. Enjoy it. Not like entertainment. But whatever you do, you enjoy it. And when you are doing and enjoying your work, I'm sure that you will be doing justice to the work. जब तक आप enjoy नहीं करोगे अपने काम को, तब तक आपको जो पाना है उसके अंदर, you will not be able to achieve that. You will not be getting the success to the extent you want to achieve. So that is very important. And it is rightly said by Akshay Kumar, the hero of Indian cinema, कि अपने काम को पेशेंस समझ कर करो. आपको कभी नहीं लगेगा कि आप उस कार्य को करते हुए थक रहे हो या बोर हो रहे हो. और उनकी सफलता का वो ये बोलते हैं कि मेरी सफलता का यही सबसे बड़ा राज है. So friends, in the same way, if you are going to enjoy your work, you will not feel tired yourself by doing that work, and you will be a successful entrepreneur, successful CFO, successful CEO, and successful person or professional in the life. So that is very important. Don't think कि कौन सा काम बड़ा है या कौन सा काम छोटा है. Which work is small or which work is a big. Please focus on the work which you have chosen and enjoy doing it, whether it is a small work or whether it is a big work. That is very important. And if you do that, friends, I am sure you will be a successful person. Last point, which is the seventh point, which I would like to take to all of you, that always remain motivated. That is very, very important things. हमेशा आपको motivated रहना. No negative thoughts should come in the minds, because negative thoughts will take you in the doldrum, put you in the doldrum. But the positive thoughts, motivation will take you to the success. That is important. And how you can remain motivated? There are some things, some idea, some tips which can be used, which are very easily available. And first thing which we are going to do today for remaining motivated is that these 4 successful chartered accountants who are the entrepreneurs are going to keep you motivated that yes, I should be the entrepreneur like Rajesh Singh, I should be the entrepreneur like Ajay Gupta, I should be the entrepreneur like Ken Agarwal, I should be the entrepreneur like Mr. Kothari, I should be an entrepreneur like Mr. Harga. So first clue I am giving you today is this. The second, see some videos which are motivational one. The third, there are various YouTube videos available that also you can see. And there are some positive affirmations daily which you can choose, and your day you can start with that. That will make difference. It will keep you always motivated. And friends, when we remain motivated, I remain motivated, you remain motivated, and we remain motivated, we all will get success. Our profession will remain motivated, that is for sure. And friends, we will be able to do the justice to what we are doing and will achieve the success, what is required in our life. With these words, I thank you all Friends, it's my indeed pleasure to be part of this wonderful fourth executive development program for all the young buddies of our professions. Thank you all. Thanks to the chairman and thanks to all the dignitaries and luminaries who are there today who will be sharing their knowledge. Thank you all.
Thank you, Durgesh bhai, for such a motivational talk. आज पता लगा कि हमारे दुर्गेश भाई जो हैं कितने स्वाभाविक तरीके से, एक साधारण तरीके से हमारे बच्चों का कितना केयर करते हैं. एंड आई बिलीव मी द वे दिस दुर्गेश काबरा जी नॉट ओनली विद द यंगर वंस, even in the office atmosphere also, in the system of our committee also, the way he really take care of the and take interest on the development of the vision and bringing out that vision into the mission and bringing out as a goal to be achieved by way of the best of the strategy available. And it is not only the strategy which keep the change whatsoever he thought of. The strategy, if it is not working properly, that also requires a change, and accordingly he advised for a change also. And I'm very thankful to the Durgesh bhai for giving a good words for us. Naturally, we joined the council together. We are just a friend also, over and above whether the position given by the leadership, chairman or the vice chairman or chairman or the co-chairman, that does not matter with. It is the team which makes the difference. It is the team who makes the difference, and he is the person who takes the from the front. I'm very grateful and thankful to him for motivating our younger ones. Now I'll request Prabdeep Singh Baveja ji, a friend from the Dubai, and Ranganathan ji, a friend from our committee as a secretary, to take the this as far as moderation and the panel discussion forward. Over to Prabdeep ji.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Chuk sir. Thank you, Kabra sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We are very happy to have this beginning of the fourth batch today. First day where we will be starting with great entrepreneurs from different parts of the world and their knowledge. My sincere gratitude to ICAI President Nehar Jambusaria sir, ICAI Vice President, CA Dr. Devashish Mitra sir, ICAI Acting Secretary, CA Dr. Jay Kumar Batra, Central Council members, all the members who are present here today with us. Today, this panel discussion is a journey where our successful entrepreneurs have started their career from being a team member in any organization, and then someone who have created a very large teams for their organization. We have 5 panelists today from different parts of the world, mainly from Middle East and Africa, which has our largest presence in terms of the number of members abroad. And our moderator today is a very tall personality. He is a partner in Deloitte, and he's currently serving as a chairman of a Dubai chapter. Unfortunately, due to some urgent meeting, he's still in a meeting and he will be joining anytime soon. So until he joins in, I will introduce our moderator and speakers and then hand it over to him as soon as he joins. So please allow me to first introduce our moderator, CA Sundar Norani, in his absentia. CA Sundar Norani is specialized in the audit function of the insurance industry and has more than 20 years of experience in audit. He is a strong advocate of continuous learning and is a partner in audit and assurance, including audit learning in the United Arab Emirates. He is passionate about building and maintaining professional relationships and is actively contributing to the profession through his active participation in the accounting professional network. Events organized by Dubai chapter of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, where he is currently serving as a chairman of the chapter. Sundar always believes in creating impact that matters and actively involved in firms' corporate responsibilities and services initiatives, such as world-class program and sustainability initiatives. We have 5 panelists today, and we are very happy to have the presence of very tall dignitary CA Dinesh Kothari ji, who is one of the early entrepreneurs here in UAE. And CA Dinesh Kothari, born in 1950, a chartered accountant by profession, brings with him over 42 years of fruitful corporate and entrepreneurial experience, and whose calling took him on an odyssey of service in the field of education. He started his career from ICAI, the development bank, for 2 years. Then from 1974 to 87, he served in Bukhatir Investment Group in Sharjah, UAE. It was a lot of work and dedication that saw him rise to the position of a CEO of the Bukhatir Group at the young age of 29 years. After 13 years of service, he decided to branch out and set up his own corporate advisory and investment banking business based out of both India and Dubai. The need for quality education at affordable cost was the driving force that motivated Mr. Kothari to embark on the field of education. Establishing DPS Jodhpur in India, a not-for-profit school in the memory of his late grandfather, Shri Shugan Chandra Kothari, who was his inspiration, who spoke of students' knowledge and empowering women. Moving further, he ventured to set up DPS Sharjah in 2000 and DPS Dubai in 2003 in UAE, the country where he grew professionally and as a leading entrepreneur. Mr. Kothari is a patriot who is in the journey of nation building, even if it may be in a small but significant way. Educate a child in the nation. Every school he chairs a very clear policy to benefit students whose family express the need for financial support. In order to meet the social commitment, his schools in UAE have adopted villages in India and provided solar lamps under the banner of Light a Billion Camp. Endowment programs such as our to support digital with the weaker section in India. Mr. Kothari has been conferred with Pride of India Award by Business and Professional Council for contribution in the field of education and honored with the prestigious Award by Modern Awards Committee for Excellence in the field of education. Thank you so much, Kothari sir. Thank you for being here. We are very honored to have you here, and you have taken out time. And before we move on to the questions, I'll move on to introduce our other panelists. Next, we have Ms. CAKN Agarwal from Cairo, Egypt. I'm very happy and thankful to our leader in Egypt, CEO Udham Singh, who connected with Agarwal sir, and it was very nice to know his journey. Very briefly, I will read out his inspiring journey. CAKN Agarwal is a chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and completed his Bachelor in Commerce from Commerce College in India. After qualifying the Chartered Accountancy in 1972, he joined Aditya Birla Group, the largest multinational Indian conglomerate, and worked directly with the then chairman, Mr. Aditya Birla, for 8 years, focusing on establishing new projects, reviewing the performance of existing projects. Mr. Agarwal then moved to Thailand to implement STPP plant in joint venture with Albright and Wilson UK. He set up the entire project, which became one of the best joint ventures of Thailand. He worked in Thailand for 8 years. Mr. Agarwal started Alexandria Carbon Black Company, ACB, as a managing director by spearheading the Aditya Birla Group in African and Middle East region. Under his leadership, he became the largest producer of carbon black in the world. Under his leadership, ACB, regarded as the best joint venture of Egypt, and used by government and business as a model. 13 years with ACB, Mr. Agarwal left Birla to acquire MRI, which was under privatization. He expanded the organization and turned around to be a very successful and profitable. Now, MRI is Africa's the largest. Thank you so much, Agarwal, thank you for being here. Sincere gratitude for accepting our invitation. And now, to introduce our third panelist, Rajesh Singh, who is from Doha, Qatar. Rajesh qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 1996 and started his career initially with Blue Star Limited and Kimchi Kuwaji and Company in Mumbai. He secured his first overseas job in the Kingdom of Bahrain, where he worked from 1997 to the year 2000. He then moved to Qatar, working with the UK-based marine construction company in 2000. He then worked with Qatar Chemical Company for nearly 10 years in various strategical positions while looking at an option for doing a business in Qatar. He and his long-time British friend partnered and established a number of companies, including construction, loss adjusting, trading specializing in safety and building materials, agency for national paints, travel agency, and most notably, establishing a leading contractual claims consulting company. Rajesh did not stop here and established a professional accounting firm in Qatar Financial Center and currently working to partner with well-known ERP service provider and establish a clinic in Qatar. Rajesh is a very active member of the vibrant Indian community in Qatar and was part of the executive committee of Indian Cultural Center for 6 years in Doha, Qatar. He is a very active cricketer and has a record of scoring 37 runs in an over. He is also a qualified open water scuba diver and sang in a professional musical concerts. Dear Rajesh Singh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here and thank you for accepting our invite. We move on to Kenya now. The capital of Kenya, Nairobi, from where we have another young entrepreneur, C. Ajay Gupta. Ajay qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 1994. He relocated to Kenya in 1995 when he was appointed as an audit senior at one of the then leading audit firms in Kenya. But as auditing books was not what he was made for. So, a couple of years later, he moved on to become the CFO of an international freight forwarding company, Panelist. In June 2001, fueled by his entrepreneurial spirit, he quit his job and founded what has since then come to be known as Endeavour Africa Group, EAG. In a relatively short span of time, EAG has grown from being a one-man show to a team of more than 250 plus strong and young professionals, supporting more than 5,000 customers spread across East Africa and 20 plus countries in Africa in the fields of security, operations, financial management, and communication technology. Under leadership of Ajay, EAG has also ventured into various business chemicals, offset printing business, real estate, and various other business ventures in East Africa. From Ajay's own experience in establishing and growing a business was born the vision to empower other ambitious individuals to realize their dreams and enrich their lives. This ultimately led to the establishment of Endeavour Credit Limited as the financial services arm of EAG. Ajay is based in Nairobi, where he lives with his wife and 2 children aged 21 and 16 years. Warm welcome, Ajay. Thank you so much for accepting our request and sincere gratitude. We move on to our another entrepreneur from Dubai, UAE, CA Alok Bhargava. A professionally qualified chartered accountant from India, a merit holder in chartered accountancy besides BSc, PCM from Udaipur, Rajasthan, India. He started his journey in the year 1995 from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, Africa, as a financial controller with an international group. After hands-on to the market financials, he entered into commodities trading in the year 1996 before moving to Kenya. Since then, keeping the focus on the vast African territory, he is now a globetrotter, diversifying and exploring market and innumerable countries. In 2005, he moved to Dubai, UAE, making it as a hub for further challenges, where he joined multinational organization as a partner director, spearheading its growth across the African continent. Over the last couple of years, Canada and Russia have also been added to the list. Keeping with the same momentum and hunger to do more has given him immense courage to start his own venture in the year 2016, named as Praramb Agri Trading DMCC, means starting of a new era in Dubai, UAE, assuming the role of a director. He was awarded as the most iconic NRI of the year in 2018 in Dubai by Ministry of External Affairs India in food category. He has been a regular invited speaker at various change in one panelist. Join us. Thank you so much. And see, we were able to get him today into this discussion, and I'm very thankful to have all our 5 panelists here. And now it's time for the panelists to share their knowledge, and I will be asking the first question to Dinesh Kothari ji, based out of Dubai, from whom we learn so much. Dinesh Kothari ji, as you have been honored with the prestigious Mother Teresa Award and Pride of India, can you please share your success story with us? Your success story will make a big difference to all participants' lives, and we look forward to hear from you. So over to you.
Thank you, CA Prabjeet. First of all, I must compliment you and the entire team for putting together such a fabulous, large-scale show. And obviously, the support of our chairman, Jambu Surya sir, CA Dr. Devashish Mitra, chairman of the committee, Mr. Chu, Durgesh Kabraji, whom I had the pleasure of listening for about a few minutes before this. So this is a fabulous platform. And I think this is the first step in learning for any young person what it takes to make things happen. It takes a lot of effort to make things happen. And those who are participating, those who are listening, will understand what has happened. Now, talking about the story, I mean, I think you said quite a lot about me. So half my story is already shared. I come from a middle class family. My father was a government servant. So was my grandfather. They all were in public service. But the emphasis was always in education in the family. Like my elder brother became an engineer from BITS. Younger one has done again engineering, computer science. My sister is PhD. So one emphasis was that karoge nahi to karoge kya? That was the thing. We had no business in the family, so everybody was working. Therefore, that was important. So we focused on education, and I must remain ever so grateful for the profession that I am in, because I would give 90% of my credit of success to what I have learned, what I have been trained as a chartered accountant. I qualified in 73 in January. I articled with S.P. Billing company that time. And then I was looking for a job, and I was fortunate to find a job with ICAI in Mumbai in project appraisal department. It was an honor to work with people like S.S. Nadkarni Sahab, S.S. Mehta, H.T. Parekh. They were immediate bosses. The project appraisal department was a small department. It was not a huge bank at that time. It was a development institution. So I started my career there, but living in a city like Bombay, and particularly coming from a Marwadi family that I do come from, immediate thing is beta CA kar liya, shadi karo. And obviously got married at a very young age and came to Bombay with my wife. I mean, she joined me, was already there, and we couldn't afford accommodation. Lucky that I got accommodation from ICICI, but it was tough going. At the end of the month, if we could save 10 rupees in the pocket, we thought we had saved a fortune. Then comes times in life when you have a little bit of angst inside. Why me? Why should I be the only one struggling? I studied, I worked hard, I attained the best degree in my opinion the country or the world has to offer, which is chartered accountancy. Because in every other profession, the repeat ability to qualify is quite high. Percentage of people qualifying is very high. In our profession, I remember the year I did CA, the total pass out of Group A and Group B together was 3.5%. It was challenging. So therefore this angst came that, why me? Why should I struggle, married? So start looking for a job. And one thing was clear that if I change my job, it will be outside of India. Because within India, I don't think I could have found a better job than ICICI. It was the finest place to work. It was the best platform where you could learn. So I was lucky. I got introduced to people in Dubai, Sharjah, Mr. Bukhatir's group, and I took up a job as an chief accountant of a construction company, Eastern Contracting. The good part was they gave me a grand salary of 1,500. Which on those days on conversion rate was 3,200 rupees. It was 4 times of what I was making in Mumbai, which was 750 rupees. So I immediately took the job. My family was against it because they thought I had the best job. I came from a background of the career rather than look for money. However, I took the challenge. I came here. I started working with Mr. Bukhatir, and as the time went by, there were ups and downs. At some point, I was frustrated. I wanted to give up. I wanted to go back. But I think sometimes luck plays a very important role. And immediately in the parent group, there was a requirement of a CFO. So Mr. Bukhatir promoted me to that place because he realized my frustration in the construction company. I told him of my experience, moved there, and within 2 years' time, I became the CEO of the group. I was just 29 years at age. And it was quite an interesting day because that platform gave me a lot to learn. Best part was that some of my senior people who reported to me were a lot better qualified than I was. They were a lot more intelligent and they had a lot more vision and knowledge than I had because I did not have that experience. Some of them came from companies like Colgate, multinational companies. So I had a lot to learn from them. One thing that I laid emphasis on was my man management. And I still think that that was one skill that helped me a lot. I never made them feel that I was the boss. I felt I was part of a team. And it happens in a team that there's somebody who leads and the others work together. So I was able to create that nucleus that everybody worked around and we worked together. And from there, we grew up. And my career was on a very beautiful path. Again, there are tipping points in life. There came a point when I thought that it was, while I was doing extremely well for myself, my kids were going to the best school in Sharjah. At that time it was Shoifat. But was I really giving them what they should have? And that thought came to me when my son told one of his friends that today he would not be able to come to play because he had guests at home and they were my parents. That's the time I realized that if grandparents are guests at home, then my being CEO, making all this money is worthless, is meaningless. And therefore I took the decision to quit the job and go back to India, having nothing in hand. I had 1 year time. I gave 1 year notice to Mr. Bukhatir because at that position I couldn't have worked with 3 months notice. And because I had no other job to take, so we did that. We went back to India. I started my advisory services consulting practice. Again, life was good. Got settled after initial hiccups. That happened, and then somehow this thought came to me that having done fine for yourself, having got children back to good schools, why is I giving back? And I come from Jodhpur, so I thought of setting up my first school in Jodhpur, which is not for profit, in memory of my late grandfather, who was also a teacher in the initial phase when he came from Lahore and settled in Jodhpur. Even today, when I go at this age, I am being addressed by old families of Jodhpur as grandson of Masterji. So that was the identity which made me realize that it was time to do something better. And we started doing that, and the school took off. Mercifully, I had a good collaboration with the Delhi Public School Society in Delhi. And after a couple of years, I realized that maybe I can convert this into a commercial model. And that's when the thought of DPS in Sharjah germinated in my mind. Because I saw not-for-profit school doing well, cash flow was good. So why not make it into a commercial activity? On the same time, not be driven by profit, but driven by quality and desire to give back. And that's when we started Sharjah School. And then since then, we have now 6 schools, as you know, in Dubai, including Indian and British curriculum schools, and tutoring about 17,000 students. Very satisfying, extremely satisfying job, extremely satisfying profession, because this is where you start believing that by giving back, how much more are we getting? And to be honest, Pradeep, when we do this, we are doing it because we want to secure our tomorrow. By having wonderful today, if we have good students, good citizens coming out, our tomorrow will be a lot better. Our tomorrow will be secure. So in a way, we are investing in ourselves, we are investing for ourselves, that let's provide something decent, and we feel very happy when we see our students working in top positions, doing very well. Somebody is an artist, somebody is a singer, somebody is acting in films from our school, somebody is writing books. They work in Google, etc., etc. So all around, it became a very satisfying job. And now I play the role of a captain, a retired captain or a manager. My son is running the schools. He is there to help me. And obviously that gives me an ability to grow further. But very important thing is, we normally talk what are the principles on which we work. Something that I read a few months ago, and not few months ago, I would say a few years back. And these are not the principles of work, but what Mahatma Gandhi called sins of work. Paap kya hai? Defining good is so much easier. The art is in knowing what is wrong. Art is not in knowing what is right. So he said there are 7 sins he called, Mahatma Gandhi. One was wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, science without humanity, knowledge without character, politics without principles, and commerce without morality, and worship without sacrifice. These are the sins. Can we overcome them? God has been kind that we have reached here and where we are. Yes, you may call it success, but it was a good journey. It was a good journey. The best part was that I don't think when I started, I thought I'll get there. Right. What I do today was not the thing on my drawing board. Important thing for entrepreneur is, as you walk, you look around, you look for the opportunities, have the ability to understand them, and believe in it. As I was listening to Kabra Sahab, conviction, vision, belief in yourself. And when you have that, and you work hard, you do achieve. We do fail at times. I like to say, I like to complete here by saying a small poetry which I hear from Parvashar Bachchan, कि असफलता एक चुनौती है स्वीकार करो, सोचो समझो और सुधार करो, जब तक न सफल हो नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, और मुश्किलों से घबराकर मैदान छोड़कर मत भागो तुम, आखिर बिना कुछ किए तो जय जयकार नहीं होती, और कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती.
Yeah.
So that was a good little journey that I had, and satisfying journey. I don't know monetarily, but extremely enriching, extremely satisfying.
Thank you so much, sir. It was so good to listen to your journey from in your voice, and though everyone knows about it, but when you shared it, so many words of wisdom you have shared along with a very beautiful ending with very beautiful poetry. I remember the 5 years old incident when you said that the students, you feel good to see your students doing great in so many good jobs all around the world. 5 years back in the conference of Dubai chapter, your students were volunteering, and when you got there as a chartered accountant to take your delegate card, they were so elated. And we created one memory also, and they were so happy afterwards that even though they must have been seeing you in the school every day, but they were so happy to have a photograph with you outside the school where they were volunteering. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being here. And we will come back to you. Now we move on to K.N. Agarwal, sir, a very senior chartered accountant from Egypt. Agarwal, sir, as a fresh chartered accountant, got opportunity to work with top industrialist of India, and that responsibility became a reason for you to be in Africa. Please share insights of your journey from a team member to a successful entrepreneur. So over to you, Agarwal sir.
Good evening to everyone. I would like to thank you, Shubji, Kabraji, and all the committee members to be here. And I would also like to thank Shubji and Kabraji for giving an excellent talk, which is very essential for the success of We the People. Now, I would like to share my experience with you. I passed my CA in 1972. Almost 50 years before. After passing my CA, I got an excellent opportunity to work directly under Mr. Aditya Birla. I assisted Mr. Birla in managing his companies around the world. I would like to share what I learned from Mr. Birla and how he was very successful entrepreneur and industrialist. He used to follow the following systems which I would like to discuss, and these attributes are equally important for us to make us a successful entrepreneur. First and most important thing was Parta system. Birla used to follow the Parta system, and according to the Parta system, daily profit and loss account was being prepared. And whatever the results were achieved on daily basis were compared with targets. If there is a loss in any of the head, the loss was analyzed to make sure that this loss is not repeated in the future. The purpose of making the profit and loss was to make sure that inefficiency does not crop up in the system. And if there is inefficiency there, you take immediate action so it does not continue and your operations become very profitable. Second thing, we learned fast decisions. I had seen in case of Birla Group, they take the decision instantly. And another important thing what I see is never keep the things pending. I would like to share one of my incidents with Mr. Birla. After reviewing the performance of any of the unit, we used to prepare the comments and send to the units. In one of the case, one of the incident, I could not prepare on the same day. I prepared the comments on the next day. Mr. Birla asked me why we delayed. Short answer. He said, because we delayed our comments for a day, we lost profit of one day. That is how they used to see the actions have to be taken immediately, and your work has not to be delayed even for a day. This was a very good learning for me. And another most important thing for the Birla Group was strong control on funds and excellent financial planning. When we talk about the strong control of funds, I would like to give one example. That in Birla Group, they used to make would-be financial. The purpose of making would-be financial was to see that once we generate the fund, how we are going to employ in the most profitable manner, and we make sure that once we generate the fund, we don't keep them idle even for a day. And that's used to be the fund planning in the Birla Group. And financial controls were also very strong. After working for a period of about 8 years with Mr. Birla, I was transferred to Thailand to have practical experience for implementing the projects. In one of the meetings with Mr. Birla, he asked me, will you accept a challenge to go to Egypt, since I would like to establish one of the joint venture company there? He said, Africa and Middle East is the promoting center because of oil and gas. I accepted the challenge. I came to Egypt and we implemented the carbon plant here in Egypt. This carbon plant has become the world's largest carbon plant, and at a single location, and within a period of 10 years, we achieved the highest growth in any industry in the world. We started with capacity of 20,000 tons, and we ultimately achieved 300,000 ton capacity. That is almost 15 times in a period of 10 years. And this was the most successful plant of the Birla Group. And this was also the most successful plant of Egypt, and it was a showcase. At that time, the government of Egypt was planning for privatization of its loss-making companies. So I decided to acquire a company to develop and make it profitable. This decision was very important for me. In order to acquire a company, I had to leave the Birla Group, where I had a very good position as a managing director. I was the managing director of a very large group. No problem as far as security is concerned. Moreover, I decided to leave the company to acquire loss-making company and turn it around to make it profitable. The purpose that I wanted to become the entrepreneur. I had a desire. What I thought at that time, whatever I'm doing for the Birla Group, that is theirs. What I'm doing for myself. Even this company is very small. I must do myself. Once I leave the Birla Group, nothing will be with me. But if I develop a company for myself, it is going to remain with me. And that was the motivation for me. So I decided to leave the Birla Group and started my own company. After expansion and developing of this company, now we are the largest formaldehyde producer in African continent. This is now a very successful and profitable company. And I would like to say now we are exporting more than mainly our product out of Egypt, and this is one of the largest formaldehyde company in the African continent. Being an entrepreneur is much more satisfying than an employee of a company, and I would advise to our young chartered accountants, this is to become an entrepreneur is much more proud, is a proud in this rather than working for somebody else. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So your journey is very inspiring. You shared great learnings which you had while working with Mr. Birla. And you spot on the opportunities at right time and you grab upon it and made a great success. Thank you for being here with us. We'll come back to you, sir. Now we move on to Dubai back again, CA Alok Bhargava. CA Alok ji, what are the developing sectors in Middle East UAE where talent of our country can be utilized for helping the sectors to grow in Middle East? Can you elaborate on one or two such sectors which can be helpful for our young members?
Uh, Thank you, Pradeep ji. And first and foremost, I would like to thank and congratulate as well to Chairman Saab and Co-Chairman Saab, along with the committee members in industries who have initiated this program and also given me opportunity to be on this platform. And as far as developing sectors are concerned, there are so many sectors developing here. But I would take the food sector and I will elaborate one sector. I will take food sector because I belong to that sector and I know something about that. After Corona, we have seen most of the countries have suddenly started getting worried and they started planning for the food security for their own nation. And in fact, the UAE government and Indian government has come to an agreement for making a food corridor, which is going to help increase food security for the both sides. Why this need has arisen, because of the logistic, because of the supply issue the whole world faced during the lockdown in the Corona era. And this is why every nation has suddenly started feeling that what happened if the shipment has not reached, or what happened if some other country refused to give you food, because food is something which you cannot avoid in all the stages. We have during the lockdown, during the Corona era, we have seen the shipments getting delayed, the ports get closed, no transportation, no labor, lot many problems we have seen, and that is where all the government went serious and they decided to have their own security, the food security system to maintain their own, the wall for their own country. And in fact, when you are talking about UAE, in fact, UAE has always been considered as a trading hub, and it's a gateway to Africa and the neighboring Middle East countries like, for example, Yemen, even Morocco, even Algeria. A lot of trade has been taking place from UAE as such. So that is, I feel, this is the place and this is a sector where I feel the Indian talent can become handy and they can play a big role as a financial controller or as a CEO or as a CFO or even as the owner of the company, as having their own business. It's a very big line. Food commodity is a huge line.
Right.
And I feel we can, and India is, blessed with all the agri commodities and all the food commodities. So I have a feeling that this is a sector where we can pursue Indian talents, or we can utilize Indian talents, or they can have their own businesses and they can do whatever they want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other sector you would like to mention, Alok sir, now?
Any other sector, if we are talking about Middle East, mostly in the Middle East, the trading sectors are, developing. But I feel, there are manufacturing opportunities coming out down here because of, the proximity, because of the government support to the businesses and to other relatively easiness of the business. I have seen, previously, we used to say that we should have a factory where the source is available, but Dubai has proved it wrong. It's all the pulses factory is now, they are competing with India and Myanmar and everybody. And even I have seen the Seesme Haling plant growing up and coming up in Dubai. Irrespective, there is no such crop available in Dubai. Everything is imported. Everything is bought from somewhere else. So I feel this is a sector. There are a lot of sectors. And I feel manufacturing is one thing which outrightly so many government, even Russell Khema government is supporting with they are proposing to give land and all these things. So I feel this is the second sector somebody wants to be in is in the manufacturing sector, and definitely there's a very big scope. And when you talk with the world that you want to export from Dubai, it is always taken as the first class quality. Of course, you have to maintain a quality, but when you say that I have a manufacturing unit in Dubai and I would like to export from Dubai, it makes a big difference in the market. So this is a second sector I feel where we have, and we as a chartered accountant, I always felt we can do anything. If you can pass chartered accountancy exam, then obviously you can do a lot of things together. So for doing any manufacturing, it's not a big learning, it's not a big rocket science. Anybody can learn that. And especially as a chartered accountant, I always feel we have a capacity to learn everything and to execute everything, at least to analyze everything and put it in on a flow chart and do that. So that's what my feeling is.
Thank you so much, Nuksab, for dwelling into the food sector, and I'm sure like Expo 2020 is coming up here in UAE since in the 4 months, and that will make a significant difference. Thank you. Now we move on to Qatar. And Qatar is a country which has become very popular for the past many years, and we have a FIFA World Cup in 22. And so, Rajesh, if you can dwell upon the industries how have emerged in Qatar and Middle East in the past 1 decade. And how our members, young members, can explore the opportunities in those industries, if you can guide on this. Yeah, Rajesh.
Thank you, Prabdeep, for this valid question. Before I answer the question, I would like to thank our chapter. I'm one of the very proud chartered accountant that whatever little I have achieved is only because of my profession. I would like to thank our President, Neha sir, Vice President Devashish sir, Chairperson of CMIB, Mr. Hansraj, Vice Chairman Sri Durgesh Kabraji. And I've been mesmerized to hear all the success stories which you were reading earlier. And there is a lot to learn for, even I've got a long way to go. So it is a great experience. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Coming back to your question, you asked about what are the various options available for fresh chartered accountants in Qatar. And as I've spent over 21 years in this country, I would like to focus on the developments in this oil and gas rich country. Before we discuss about the various industries, for the benefit of newly qualified chartered accountants who may not be aware about this country, let me tell them very quickly about state of Qatar. Because I think many times it happens that if I tell someone in India, say if I go and meet my friends, I say I work in Qatar, sometimes they don't know where is Qatar. So Qatar is a peninsular Arab country located in the Middle East. Our neighboring countries are UAE, Saudi, Oman, Kuwait, and Kingdom of Bahrain. Qatar's population is 2.8 million, majority of which are expatriates. Official currency is Qatari Riyal, which is pegged to US dollars. It means that if US dollar becomes strong against different currencies, Qatari Riyal becomes strong as well. The current exchange rate between Qatari Riyal and Indian rupee is 1 Qatari Riyal is around 20 Indian rupees. Qatar is one of the fastest growing economies in the Middle East. You normally grow with a country. Hence, Qatar has an edge since the country has developed rapidly over the last decade. Let's look at various sectors where our members can have opportunity to work in. As we know, Qatar is known for Middle East is known for its oil and gas, and Qatar is no exception. Qatar Petroleum, also known as QP, is one of the biggest state-owned companies. What I try to do, Prabjit, is I try to take the names of, I would like to take name of some companies so that it is beneficial to my fellow chartered accountants. So QP is one of the biggest state-owned companies and is the largest employer in Qatar. QP has many subsidiaries developed over the years, and they are also great success stories and also huge employment opportunity for aspiring chartered accountants. I was very fortunate to work with Qatar Chemical Company for nearly 10 years, which is one of the subsidiary of QP. There are other sectors like travel and aviation. Qatar Airways, as all of us know, they are one of the largest and fastest growing airlines in the world. And it employs, staggering 46,000 employees are working in Qatar Airways. I was quite astonished to find that Qatar Airways has so many employees. Of course, construction and real estate sector. Due to the huge investment in infrastructure, Qatar has always attracted major international contractors, which in turn generates plenty of opportunity in the accounting and finance sector. Qatar followed the construction model of Dubai and built Pearl Qatar, which was done by UBC. So they are one of the big construction companies. We've got Barwa Real Estate, Salam International Group. They are some of the key contracting companies. There is significant presence of Indian construction companies such as L&T, Voltas, Shapoorji and Kalonji in Qatar. Then very important, education sector. Qatar has a strong focus on education. In 1995, Qatar established purpose-built city known as Qatar Foundation to boost its education sector alongside Qatar University. Qatar Foundation hosts many well-known international universities, including Cornell, Georgetown University, Texas A&M, VCU, and many others. They provide a lot of opportunities in the finance, accounting, and HR field for Indian chartered accountants. Hospitality sector. Qatar is becoming a major tourist attraction, especially after allowing visa on arrival for many nationalities, including Indians, during pre-COVID times. Many hotels and restaurants have been built to accommodate increasing tourist numbers and spectators expected to visit Qatar for FIFA 2022. The population is also increasing rapidly. As we know, it is not just local Qataris but also expatriates. Because of which, it generates a requirement of new restaurants and entertainment facilities. I'll move on to healthcare sector. Qatar has one of the best healthcare systems in the world, which is free to the residents. State-owned Hamad Hospital employs nearly 30,000 employees, and it is growing rapidly. Many Indian hospital brands are present in Qatar. I would name few like Apollo Clinic and Aster Hospital. And of course, our own favorite finance sector. Qatar has a robust banking and insurance sector, which provides many opportunities for chartered accountants. Banking is a favorite sector for job aspirants after oil and gas in Qatar due to continued growth and excellent employment packages offered. Qatar National Bank is the largest bank in Qatar and also employs around 29,000 employees. Other top employers are insurance sector. We have Qatar Insurance Company, Qatar General Insurance Company. Some other sectors, notable other sectors are telecom. It is interesting to know that Qatar was the first country in the world to introduce 5G technology. The national telecom provider Ooredoo employs nearly 17,000 people. So of course, I know for a fact I've got a lot of friends who are working in Ooredoo in the finance department because they need a lot of analytics, a lot of people to do analysis. I would like to touch upon retail sector. Everyone knows about Lulu hypermarket. It is very, very popular in the Middle East. They are again one of the success stories, and they are very popular hyper chains in the Middle East, and they are going beyond Middle East now. It is run by very known NRI, very well-known NRI, Mr. Yusuf Ali.
Yes.
There are some exciting developments which has increased cooperation between our institute and Qatar Financial Center, which will increase opportunities for chartered accountants in Qatar.
Yeah.
As you can see, we always had good relationship between Qatar and India. So always, chartered accountants have plenty of opportunities, especially in Qatar and the Middle East. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Rajesh, for elaborating on so many opportunities what exist in Qatar, and I have visited Qatar so many times. I'm so happy to see the way development has happened. So huge opportunities exist in Qatar. So sometimes in Middle East we only look at UAE, but UAE is not the only country. The 6 countries have a lot of opportunities for our members which can be explored. We move on to African region, and another interesting region where I'm very happy to see that we have 3 of our panelists who have Africa experience though. And moving on to our young entrepreneur Ajay. Ajay, you have spent more than 25 years in African region. So I would like to ask you what inspired you to look at Africa almost 3 decades ago, and what opportunities you see for our members in the African region. Over to you, Ajay.
Thank you, Prabdeep, and thanks to the chairman and co-chairman and the entire committee to put up this platform for us to share our story. I would like to tell you that first I would like to explain Africa is a continent. First of all, the size is bigger than India, China, Japan, and all of Europe put together. So when we say Africa, it is too big for anybody to understand. Or what. My experience has been particularly in East Africa and more so in Kenya. So I have seen a lot of people referring anything to do with continent because Africa has 54 countries and there are 54 different currencies, 54 different operations, the way countries work. So they are totally different. So if I need to travel from Nigeria, West Africa, the flight is more than to India or to Dubai or anywhere else. Yeah. So we cannot generalize basically Africa per se. So my experience basically, I did my CA as you said in '94, and immediately after 18 months, I came to Kenya. Some opportunity came up, a job opportunity came up, so I just took up. I was just very young, 24, 25 years, and I said, let me explore, see what Kenya is. So I ended up here. I started working as an audit senior, and within the same group, I worked for almost 7 years. And from audit, I moved to industry, basically freight forwarding company. It's a Swiss company. Till 2002, from 95 till 2002. So if you ask me what brought me to Africa, I would say it just happened. I just happened to be here at that time. And when I came initially, I just came for, let's say, there's a work permit for 2 years. So I said, let me just try Africa. Let me experience. I'll stay for 2 years and see. If nothing works out, I'll come back to India. And business was in my mind. I've been from business family. And all the time I had this thought that I need to do something on my own. So I came here. It's a simple country. I don't know how many of you have been here. The weather here is excellent. Throughout the year, you don't need ACs or fans or anything. It's a very green place. So I came here and I said, now I want to look at, so basically first I tried to understand what East Africa is, how the mentality is, how people operate here. And then I didn't have anything in mind as to what I need to do. I just had that I want to do business. So 2002 I resigned and I said, now what I do with the minimum capital where there is no major capex. So I thought of IT business because उसमें क्या table कुर्सी लगाओ और बैठ जाओ लेके, you get somebody from India, some software developer and see. And from there, I started giving solutions to the customer. I had no IT background. Basically, chartered accountancy those days, right. Our EDP was very basic and we didn't have. But my inclination was always that towards IT, learning IT. As you all know that CA teaches us logical thinking, logical approach to any sort of problem. So that was the edge I had. In spite of not knowing what IT is, I got people from India and I could get software developed basically and give the solution now.
Right.
Into business, I saw that the approach of people here, the business approach was more like a seller's market and people would not care to take care of customers' requirement. This is available, take it or leave it kind of atmosphere. I had my experience in India being from a business family, how we have to be on top of things, how we have to make sure that we take care of customers first, basically. So I started this approach of being like business with a customer-centric approach. The customer ki requirement kya hai? How do I fulfill their need?
Yeah.
Those small solutions, From there, customer felt that there is a difference in this guy's approach, the way he approaches problems and everything. So they started asking me for more and more solutions. Ki Ajay, ye kar sakta hai? Can you provide this? Can you do this? So that led from one thing led to another thing. So basically, it was the attitude, I think, which was like, let us see whatever business is there. How do we make sure that we give a client satisfaction, customer satisfaction? So Africa, coming to Africa was more like just like a chance. I just happened to be there. We happened to be there. Yeah. And then from one thing led to another, and I started a company. Now we are present in Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria, and then we have a software development office back in India. So as far as the opportunities in Africa is concerned, I would say opportunities are there everywhere. Like, wherever whether you are in Dubai, whether you are in India, Egypt, or wherever, opportunities are there. What I would recommend to the young here is that the attitude has to be right. The approach has to be right. So the right attitude and right aptitude, I think anywhere you can find opportunities. Anywhere you can find it. Kenya is more of an agriculture country, so we do a lot of exports of agriculture. This tourism is a very big industry here, and a lot of other industries are there. And Kenya, as such, is a hub to a lot of African countries which are landlocked.
Right.
So basically, Kenya is much more developed compared to a lot of other countries, a lot of other neighboring countries, leaving aside basically South Africa, So Kenya, that way, is very low. The infrastructure is good. The health facilities are very good. It is very easily accessible to anybody from India, basically. So you don't need any advanced visa. Visa is available online, and all on-arrival visa is available. So there are a lot of opportunities available for Indian CAs in Kenya, I think.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ajay, for deep insights. We have just 22 minutes left for this panel discussion to over, and it's very important that we give a strong message to our young members who are attending this session in large numbers. So therefore, I will skip some of the questions which I had drafted and move on to one which can be more beneficial, so that we do not lose on that part. And as you said, Ajay, that I can also share that Africa, 54 countries, we have a lot of opportunities. We have a significant presence of our members in more than 30 countries. And if we look at opportunities in those countries, we'll find in very large groups. I'll move to Kothari, sir. And sir, please share with us 5 strengths, opportunities in UAE, Middle East, which can inspire Indian professionals, entrepreneurs to start their business in Middle East countries, and who are there to help them if they aspire to spread their wings in Middle East. This question is more on entrepreneur side, but I would say on the employment side also, the attributes for our young members, the strengths, opportunities, if you can touch on both the parts. Yeah, over to you. Sir, Kothari sir, unmute kar lijiye sir.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
very relevant in today's context. Which is most important, I will not, because we have limited time. I mean, these things require quite a lot of time, but let me be brief. Most important thing is today you cannot do what is me too business. Somebody is doing, let me also do it. The most important thing is cutting edge. You have to be better. Because if you're not better, you have no space. The room is always only at the top. So number one, if you want to be there, you have to be somewhere on the top. That means in terms of quality, in terms of innovation, in terms of ideas. Number two, one message that I like to share, because I don't come from business background, family, don't be in a hurry. Learn, get your roots strong of the knowledge, business, as well as entrepreneurship, which does not only mean taking risk, man management. And that comes corporate culture. If you work somewhere, you get trained. Don't start at the top, because if you start at the top, then you don't understand the problems of the bottom. So very important thing is, sure, have desire to do business, to be an entrepreneur. See, everyone can't be an entrepreneur and everybody cannot be an employee. It has to be, one should know one's own strengths as to what one is good at. Everybody is not necessarily cut out to be a business person. Number one. Now coming to, so when you tell strengths, strength is man management, ability to be flexible. Don't go with rigid ideas, that's all that I am going to do and that's how I am going to do. A good entrepreneur is one, as he walks the journey, is flexible, changes his attitude and viewpoint both as one goes along. You cannot run business or be a good employee if you are rigid in your head. So flexibility is very important. Third is management. I keep on saying that is very important. There are a whole lot of opportunities in this country, for sure. As I said, number one, you have to bring something which is of top quality. Now the fields could be, for example, I am in the education line, as you know. Healthcare. There is an acute shortage of nurses around the world. Around the world. If somebody was to focus well and get into training the nurses and getting them, they can be employed anywhere, not only Dubai, not only Middle East, around the world. So there's one area. Training of specialists is very highly, new segment which can do well. Number two, when we look at in this part of the world, our food business is doing very well, I think, as Alok was saying earlier. Now, food restaurants, for example, there are two types of restaurants here. There are restaurants where you have booking full for next 7 days and they're expensive. And there are restaurants which are not doing well. Basically, if you are qualitatively on the top, you have a room. There's a lot of room. Even today, new restaurants are opening and they're doing very well. And there are old ones shutting down. The same is happening in our field. The new schools are shutting down. Some schools are shutting down. The good ones are coming. So basically, you have room at the top. If qualitatively you can bring something and the top-end quality, cutting-edge quality, there's a lot of room. For professionals' jobs, if you have got few years experience, this country does not have patience to train people. They want trained people. I think people should work for a few years back home in India, which is the best grinding place and grounding place. Get experience, whether it's banking sector or it's hospitality or it's logistic or education or you name it. If they have been trained well, there are a lot of beautiful opportunities in profession. Banking, as you know, majority of the bankers in this part of the world are Indians.
Right.
Two reasons: integrity, extremely high, trusted, and number two, intelligence, way above. An Indian chartered accountant he has no parallel. He is way above everybody else. We were very proud of our profession. We are the best profession that we are in. So likewise, these are the opportunities where we have, but important thing, Prabhjit, is that don't be in a hurry.
Right.
Get trained, learn. Because if you don't learn and jump, then you have more chances of making mistakes. And those mistakes can be expensive. Therefore, get trained, get your work experience, come back here, and it's competitive, but there are opportunities still available and people are still hiring. So both sides, entrepreneurship, also you have to select the field, because this is not something I can say do this. I think every entrepreneur knows what he or she is good at.
Yes.
That fact finding has to be done by the entrepreneur to a great extent. And do a bit of study. This is a place where we can some other day have longest chat on this, because right now we are very short on time. And I would like to hear my other fellow panelists who are so knowledgeable and really hear from them wonderful ideas that they have. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And once again, compliments to you and your team and Chairman Shuksaab and Kabraji for putting together this wonderful show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for always standing beside us and sharing your deep insights with the young members, which will inspire them to great extent. We move on to Agarwal, sir, quickly. Sir, can you share just 3 attributes that our fresh started accountants with minimum experience should possess to lay their footsteps into African continent with the aim to rise scale heights in their professional career? Agarwal, sir.
To become an entrepreneur, you need to have the following qualities, which I would like to discuss with you. The most important thing is the confidence. You must have the confidence in yourself. If you have the confidence, definitely you can be an entrepreneur. If you don't have the confidence in yourself, you're going to do anything. This is the most important thing. And after that, the second number, what I feel is important is you should be prepared to take the risk. In my case, what I did, I resigned from the Birla Group. I had a very good position, but I took the risk. And ultimately that paid me. I become the entrepreneur. Whatever I'm doing in this company will remain for me. Whereas if I would have not taken the risk, I would have been an employee. And when I leave the company, I did not achieve anything. But now, whatever I am developing is for myself. So risk taking is very important if you want to achieve something in the life. And third important thing, what is this? In African countries, there is a strong bureaucracy, and this should not be a problem for us. Like what we are seeing in India, and we are experienced dealing with the bureaucracy. Same thing, like, should not be a problem, and we know how to deal with the bureaucracy. Another important thing, what I see is the patience and determination. What I've seen, even Kabraji said, we need the persistence, like continuity. We have to continuously keep on, persistent and constantly follow. If that is done, for sure, we can achieve the results. If we don't have a continuity in the follow-up, for sure, we will not achieve the results. Another important thing, once these qualities are sure, you can be a successful entrepreneur. CS being very collaborative can definitely be successful professionals compared to any other professional, because they deal with the money. So they know how to deal with it compared to the other, like engineers and doctors. And at the same time, CS do not have any risk. In case they are not successful as an entrepreneur, for sure they can go and again get a job. Since I never see any of the chartered accountants unemployed. Rather, it is very difficult to get any chartered accountant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You have given a great inspiration, and I'm sure we have young member Ajay who also started his entrepreneurship at a very early age. And your suggestions which you have given, will help both in employment and entrepreneurship. Thank you so much. We move on to Alok, and Alok, I have a similar question to you. That for our young members to be successful in their journey, where they aspire to become CEO or maybe an entrepreneur, what message you would like to give to the members, that what should be their approach, and what you think can help to be successful as you have been in your journey? Yeah, Alok, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. I will start, with I have made some 6-7 points. I will start with the first point, that never lose hope and never say no. And I will give you example when, when I topped in my BSc, I was second in the whole university down there in Udaipur. And when I went for articleship, 6 people rejected in a day. They say, you don't know anything about commerce. You don't know any subject about commerce. We cannot give you articleship. And then one chartered accountant, CA Arora Sahab, he told me, okay, I did my CA well back in 30 years back, but I am a BSc person, so I will give you an opportunity for 3 months. So I said, okay, give me on trial and I will sign the paper if I feel satisfied. And 1.5 years later, I was in the merit list, and then everything changed, and all those 6 people was approaching me that why don't you join me as an articleship. So I feel we should never lose hope of anything. People will reject, people are bound to reject, but we'll get it, and never say no. If we feel we can do that, let's accept it. Second thing I will tell you, that always treat problems as opportunity. Whatever problems will come. Again, I will give you my example in this. In 1995, when I joined multinational and I went to Dar es Salaam, in 1 year, 2 people died, both expatriate died, then 2 car accident, 2 robberies, and office was burnt. And then finally, out of 9 people, I was the only person leaving, and the management asked me, can you survive this office? Can you make all the losses possible? And I say, yes, I will do trading. And 10 years later, I have my own business in the same commodity. And you have seen, I have in almost all the commodities, and now we have offices in about 14 countries in Africa, and we are doing trade from there, from even other countries where we don't have an office. So this is how I always thought, that if problems has come, maybe I can use it as opportunity for me. And that is where, I felt being a CA has really helped me. Third, I will tell them that don't lose your focus or don't lose your target. If you want to become an owner, you have to be after that. You have to chase it at like anything. Then commitment to work which I feel, you have to treat work as a fun, not as a job. If you like your work, you should enjoy your work. Then hard work, but hard work, not only hard work with some intelligence in it. Because hard work, if you do only hard work, you will just an employee. And if you do hard work with a slight intelligence and with a sense of, with sense of something, and then suddenly you find the ladder going up and up. And here, one more thing I will insist is on the teamwork. Nobody can be successful individually. Everyone is successful because there is a team behind him. There is a people behind him. There is a manpower behind him who has been supported him, or there is a wife behind him, or there is a children behind him. There are some people who are behind you. They are working as a team. It is not individual success. It is a team success. Second and last thing, I will tell them that whatever a person wants to do, because when I shifted all my brother, sister, either engineer or doctor, and my father was professor in agriculture. When I shifted from science to commerce, everybody was saying, I think you are making a big mistake. But I always felt, even to my kids, I told them, whatever you want to do, if you are doing from heart, just go for it. जो भी दिल से करोगे, कभी ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि हम लोग कभी फेल होंगे. हमें सक्सेस डेफिनेटली मिलेगी. And last thing, but not the least, honesty. Honesty is the best policy. If you are honest with your life, you are honest with your employer, if you are honest with your employees, nothing can stop you from being successful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are very happy that finally C.A. Sundar Narani ji, chairman of our chapter in Dubai, has joined our largest chapter. Welcome, Sundar sir, and I'm sure Dinesh Kothari sir would be very happy to see you, considering the partnership of DPS and our chapter. So, Sundar sir, we have, coming to an end, we have one last question being, we have to ask our Rajesh from Doha and Ajay. So, and where we are looking at the key characteristics that a fresh chartered accountant should possess. So, I request you to please share your wisdom for a couple of minutes and then take over from here to conclude this session. Over to you, Sundar.
Yeah, thank you, Prithvi Saab. Thank you all. Sorry, I was in some urgent meeting, so was not able to join. But having said that, our commitment is there always with ICAI, but we need to properly balance everything. I have prepared well to ask all the questions to all the panelists, but I did miss the opportunity. But having said that, a few more minutes are there. So I would love to thank all the participants who are attending this session. And all the panelists who are, despite of their busy schedule, I know Kodaraji, he is always busy with so many activities, including the business and, other philanthropic activities, but they're all spared some time to pass on their wisdom, and this one to all the participants. Kudos to all of you. The only thing what I need to mention is, we can share the knowledge, we can share the wisdom, but what to choose, how to make best use of it is up to the participants. And for that, nothing more is required other than the common sense approach. And, if you touch your heart and ask your mind, am I doing the right thing? It will guide you properly. So with that, I would like to ask Rajesh Singh Saab. Rajesh Singh Saab, from your experience of working nearly more than 25 years in the Middle East, especially Bahrain and Qatar, can you please share the key characteristics a fresh chartered accountant should possess to succeed in the Middle East? Because the culture of the Middle East is entirely different from what we see in India. And, I know that especially Bahrain, Qatar and UAE, we have large Indian population. In the UAE, they are the largest. Indians are the largest. But having said that, how you need to deal with other nationalities and, especially the local people. So if you can throw some light on that, sir.
Thank you, Sundar Narani ji. It is good to catch up with you before we conclude the session. It is nice to meet you virtually. This question is very close to my heart, and I would like to share my views. and hope that this will be beneficial to all the newly qualified chartered accountants. You have other, I think other panelists also they have touched based on the valid points, but I just want to add on to that, like, as chartered accountant, we have to be the subject matter expert in whatever we do, because the businesses are relying on us. They are relying on finance professionals to have in-depth knowledge about various aspects of accounting, taxation, MIS, budgeting, handling banking operations, insurance, and other critical aspects. Never stop learning. Education is key to success. It is possible to devote more time now because they are all young chartered accountants. They just qualified. And this is very important for them to understand that they must continue their learning journey and continue to obtain other qualifications, because now they have more time. As they grow, it will be more difficult for them to devote time for additional qualifications due to personal and professional commitment. Especially when you get married, we all know that feeling, you not have that much time. As a chartered accountant, it is very important to have ethics. You have to be sincere and honest. We are very lucky to be chartered accountants and interested by the businesses to take care of the financial well-being. So we should do everything to protect their interest, which will turn beneficial in the long run. In the short term, yes, you will face challenges ethically, but never compromise. It is a lonely path to disaster and failure. There is no shortcut to success in life. From my own experience, there is no time-tested formula and shortcuts to success. Next point I would like to touch upon is trust. It takes long time to build trust, and it is very easy to lose it. It is a foundation of success for a chartered accountant. Always focus. You have heard other panelists, they rightly mentioned, always focus on what is good for your client and your company rather than thinking what is good for you. Your clients and managers, they will understand this quality of yours, and over time it will be very rewarding for you in the long run. You have to dream big. As they say, you have to try to reach for sun and moon, and even if you miss them, you will be at least among stars. And this is really true in the real life. Technology, as my fellow panelists mentioned, you have to keep in touch with technology. It is important that you are completely updated with what is going on in the technology. It is essential for our profession. Compliance, it is an essential factor for chartered accountants to know about the legislation, tax, financial reporting guidelines. Any compliance breach can be disastrous for the company you are working for. Just look at what happened in Enron. I worked for a multinational company, and I had less exposure to compliance requirements because I was handling budgeting and reporting. Whereas in my current role in Quantum, I have opportunity to learn compliance requirements in 12 different countries, including US, Europe, Middle East, and Far East. Communication. For newly qualified chartered accountants, it is important that they should be effective in communication. That is something we need to really emphasize. Humility. Being humble doesn't cost you anything, and it has lasting impact. Many people carry ego, and they land up hurting themselves and their growth. For me, ego is like a flat tire which will not take you anywhere. Compassion. Most of chartered accountants, majority of them, we are consultants. We are into consultancy business. And of course, many chartered accountants are into so many things. But as a consultant, our assets are our employees, and that must be reflected the way we act and behave towards them. I would like to invite all of you to visit our company website, which is www.qgs.global, where all the employees are shown at the same prominence, whether it is office boy, whether it is our drivers, and we take real pride in that. We do our best to take care of our employees, where everyone is treated with respect. We practice and experience this in every day in Quantum. I would like to share very quickly that daughter of our lead driver, who hails from Kerala in India. His daughter has qualified as MBBS, I think 10 days back. So we are really happy for him. We are really happy for all the hard work he has put in, and Quantum has supported wherever possible. Keep it simple. Sometimes, with finance professionals, we've got tendency, few people are saying they make it very complicated. Yes, it has opposite effect. Keep it very, very simple. You already heard about taking risks, so I don't want to repeat that. Taking risk is very, very important. if you are not taking risk, if you don't exceed, even if you fail, you'll learn something valuable and you'll try again. Towards the end, you mentioned about sharing my experience of working with multicultural environment. Yes, if we are in India, we are dealing with Indian chartered accountants or Indians around us. If you work in the Middle East or Qatar, UAE, you heard about Egypt, Kenya, Nairobi. So you get opportunity to work with other nationalities and you see the way they think. You always try to take good things from them. I know that we are running short of time. I just would like to close. I heard about Durgesh ji mentioning about laziness, alsity, and I would like to close on saying that a Sanskrit shlok, which I remember, it is close to my heart. Alasasya kuto vidya, avidyasya kuto dhanam, adhanasya kuto mitram, amitrasya kuto sukham. Wishing all the best to all the newly qualified chartered accountants. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh Saab. I totally agree with you. When it comes to the Middle East, you should come prepared. And as you mentioned correctly, empathy, trust, compassion. The biggest point what you mentioned is ego. That is the first item we need to kill before we board the plane to the Middle East, because that will not take us anywhere. So well said. Thank you very much. Going to Ajay Gupta Saab, the last question. Ajay Gupta ji, you have significant experience in industry and demonstrated exceptional capacity to grow the diverse business in Africa. So can you please share with us how you managed to achieve this growth in Africa? Considering your experience, what advice would you like to give to our members for building a successful career in the Africa region? Because, as you all are aware, we have a very huge population of Indians in Africa. As you know, even Mahatma Gandhi came back from Africa after he started his practice. So we have huge population, huge number of Indians who are, prominent businessmen. So, I would like to hear from you, sir. Thank you.
Ajay, unmute. You have to unmute. Ajay, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. So basically, what I would like to share is my experience or my journey to be an entrepreneur in Africa. What I think most of the people have shared on the panel, like I think what Mr. K.N. Agarwal ji said, what he learned from Birla Group. First and foremost thing is fast decision making. We should not worry from basically failure. Failure can happen, but I've seen many people, they take long to take a decision. They will go around on this issue again and again, but not move forward. So that is one thing, taking fast decision. The other thing is controlling of cash flow, basically. Yeah. So what has helped me is that being a chartered accountant, the financial management, because in business you will see you will end up in some good deal where you have made good money, but you should not assume that this business is going to come every day. It's not going to fall. So the cash flow you have generated today should be kept in a way where you can utilize it in future when the business is not there. So all those factors are there. Diversification is one thing. Other point is that which I've seen that for the new chartered accountants, I would say you should enjoy what you're doing, whether you are in job or business or whatever you do. You have decided to, let's say, give 8 hours, 9 hours of your life for a certain job. So you should dedicatedly do that part, whatever the job is for now. You might have aspirations to go into something, but for now you have decided that this is what I'm going to do. You have taken a call. So you have to put in the best effort. There cannot be any compromise on that. So if you have that mindset, I think a success is going to happen, and success will fall in place. Everything will fall in place. So that's what the rest of the points are same things what everybody has shared, that interpersonal skills. Because in Kenya, if you look at it, people are not like in India. We have seen the mentality: you come to the point fast, you talk business and finish. Here, people will not appreciate that. If you meet somebody, you have to ask them good morning. You have to wish them good morning. How was your weekend? How was your evening yesterday? And then you start talking on the business. People will not appreciate jumping to the point of discussion, because that's the mindset I see in a lot of the fresh people. Even it was with me also, which I learned over the period of time here, that you have to take your time. So that mindset, that understanding is very important. Things don't work the way they work back in India. So if you try and apply the same thing, so sometimes people find the pace very slow. They say, oh, things don't work here. But that's the way it is, and you have to adapt to that. The faster you adapt to that, easier it becomes for you to settle down. Other thing which I've seen with a lot of expats here is that they come, then they find this place, they will start complaining. There is an insecurity issue, political uncertainty, there are some other. So basically, they are not positive about the place, first of all. So first you have to understand this place, this is the way it is. You have to accept it. You took a call to come to Kenya. I don't see there is a problem of insecurity or whatever the way people perceive outside people who have not been here. Yes, there is a concern, but not the way it is perceived by everybody. So I think that attitude has to be there. Yes, that positivity has to be there wherever you go, whether it is in Qatar, Dubai, or any African country. So you have to come open-hearted and say, I want to settle in this place. Then things will work very well. So that's what I would like to say to the judge.
Ajay Saab, thank you. It's very insightful. I would like to share my story when I visited Kenya. And, we got dal, we got roti, we got vegetable biryani, and we were wondering who is this person cooking so well. So when we went inside, it was basically a Kenyan national who was cooking all this. And, for the convenience of all, he was singing some Hindi songs also. So that is the way the society got integrated with everyone. Sir, before I call off, I have to ask one question to Kodari Saab because he is always a mentor and a great guru for us. Kodari Saab, my question to you is, I know it is not a planned question to you, but my question to you is, when people are facing failure and when we don't get support from anyone and when all the doors are locked, what is the, poem or, something, I know that you are a poet also. So what is that, this one, we need to, people say gungunane ka. So can you please throw some light in that, sir? I mean, if you keep on repeating, automatically, you get come over that situation. So
I started
if you may please.
my first question with that, rather ended my first question with that. There's a beautiful poetry which is by Harvanshah Bachchan. कि कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती और लहरों से डरकर नैया पार नहीं होती. When we fail, तो असफलता एक चुनौती है. Failure is a challenge. स्वीकार करो, accept it. सोचो, समझो और उसमें सुधार करो. So the best thing that one can do is introspect. There is no business, there is no work where there are no mistakes. The road is never a silky path. There will be always obstacles. The beautiful part is that you can fight those obstacles. एक दूसरी इसी पे है गुनगुनाने वाली बात जो आपने कही कि और करते आगाह सितारे अभी कड़ा दिन आने वाला और पड़ेगा हमको तुमको और बड़ी मुश्किल से पाला और हमारी संतानों के आगे भी संघर्ष खड़ा है. इट्स नॉट ओनली अस. और हमारी संतानों के आगे भी संघर्ष बड़ा है. नहीं हारता संघर्षों से, इसीलिए इंसान बड़ा है. दैट इज व्हाट इट इज. सो मैन डज नॉट गिव अप. ही कॉन्कर्स संघर्ष, ही कॉन्कर्स मुश्किल. वो घबराता नहीं है. जो घबराएगा तो वो तो डूब जाएगा ना. Beautiful part of life is that we have, God has given us the capability and ability both to fight. God has given us strength to conquer. And we can only do that if we believe in ourselves. आप मेरे में विश्वास नहीं कर सकते. मुझे उसको विश्वास करना पड़ेगा कि मैं जीत सकता हूं. क्योंकि मैं उस I can't go to a war surrendering my guard and कि मैं तो हार जाऊंगा. I have to go into the war with a strong belief I'll win. And therefore, तो उसमें कह रहे थे हम के सफलता एक चुनौती है, स्वीकार करो, सोचो, समझो और सुधार करो। जब तक से सफल हो नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, और मुश्किलों से घबराकर मैदान छोड़कर मत भागो तुम। आखिर बिना कुछ किए तो जय जयकार नहीं होती, और कोशिश करने वालों की। So that's the belief we have to have in ourselves कि हम कोशिश करेंगे तो हारेंगे नहीं। और the best part is चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स की है कि हमारी बैलेंस शीट हमेशा टैली होती, हमारी ट्रायल बैलेंस हमेशा टैली होती, हमारे में बैलेंस है ही नहीं। We make it work. We make it work. We come from the best profession where nothing short of perfection is expected because everything has to tally.
Thank you very much.
I joke with engineers. मैं तुम्हारी बिल्डिंग में गड़बड़ होती तो फॉल्स बीम डाल करके बिल्डिंग सीधी कर लेते हो, हमारी ट्रायल में तो टैली होनी पड़ती है।
Well said, Kodari Saab. Very, very inspirational, and I am confident that all the participants, young chartered accountants who are attending, will definitely remember these lines, which recently you mentioned. And I wish everyone all the success. I would like to also give one message to all the young chartered accountants, because you all have put lot of hours to get the qualification. So whether you go to Dubai, whether you go to England, whether you go to any other place, please be connected with our culture, with the chapter over there, and be a chapter member, and don't stop learning. Renew your membership with the institute, apply for the membership, continuously renew, continuously keep yourself abreast with the development, and please ensure that you also comply with the minimum CP requirements, so that you can always cherish this chartered accountant degree. The badge which you are bearing is a chartered accountant, so you can always proudly call yourself as a chartered accountant. So Jai Hind, Jai ICAI. Over to you, Pradeep Saab.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Before I hand over to Ranganathan ji for vote of thanks, quick vote of thanks, I would like to say to the participants from my side, thank you for being here. Tomorrow is a very special day. We have CA Amit Arora ji talking about journalism as a career, and second, very important session, that what you as a young member can learn from your CFO. So please do not miss it, and I give it to Ranganathan ji to please propose vote of thanks, and then we sign off. Thank you.
Sir, it was really wonderful listening to all, and it is my pleasure to raise a vote of thanks to all the eminent speakers, CA Sundar Nurani ji, CA Dinesh Kothari ji, CA Rajesh Singh ji, CA KN Agrawal ji, CA Ajay Gupta ji, CA Alok Bhargava ji. In fact, it was very wonderful listening to your journey from Middle East, from India to Middle East and Africa, and from being an employee at the executive level, and now with other employers, to taking a plunge to become employers yourselves. That was wonderful. Now you people have not only brought prosperity to yourselves, but also helped the overseas jurisdiction in wealth creation as well as in job creation. As I rightly pointed out by the panelists, the success comes not just out of hard work, but ability to take risk, ability to take quick decisions, deploying best of controls, and at the same time, not compromising with principles. Hard work and luck can take a person to heights, as you rightly said, but it is a principle of ethics which will retain the entrepreneur at the zenith. Hopefully, sir, the success stories of all you gentlemen would inspire our young members who had the good fortune of listening to you all. Thank you so very much for a very wonderful session and for your time. Grateful to you all.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Good night. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Good night. Thank you.
All the best. Well done. Fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Marvelous. Really marvelous. Thank you.